Hi, I'm Laura Jean Stewart. I go by LJ, and at the time of the '94 festival, I was LJ Ferenc. I'm a licensed medical massage therapist. I've been practicing since 1979, and I had a large clientele in the music industry, mostly rock and roll, but some country also. And when '94 festival was coming about, a number of people who I'd known throughout the years asked me if I was going to be on site, because I was taking care of people backstage. 15 years prior to '94, I was working with a lot of musicians and crew and staff and production teams and things like that. Originally, I was based in New York City, and I was on the faculty of the Swedish Institute for Massage and Allied Sciences, hence being able to rub elbows literally and figuratively with the rich and famous. A couple of bands took me on tour, etc. And I was the massage therapist who got called to various music venues like Madison Square Garden or UPAC or SPAC, things like that in the area. I was living in Mount Tremper. I split my week between the city and Mount Tremper, and I had a practice in New York and also in Kingston, New York. So fast forward, '94 Music Festival is starting. I'm getting calls from all these people I've worked with over the years saying, am I going to be there, or do I know any massage therapists or physical therapists or chiropractors who are going to be available? Because if you know anything about setting up these large events, if you have ever been to a large event, say at a football stadium, then you know what goes into making it happen. There are an awful lot of people, almost like an army of ants, who come into a vacant stadium show and in 24 hours have to build all the scaffolding, put up all the lighting, fix all the sound equipment, electricians, gaffers, you name it. It's amazing to watch. The load-in can sometimes take weeks if it's something like the Woodstock '94 festival. So getting all of this request to be on site or to give names of someone who might be able to be there to help the people who were putting it together beforehand and then during the festival too, and afterwards, because again, everything that's built has to be loaded out. It's a hard job. It's hard physical labor. If people are on tour, it's also hard to go from town to town in a bus, sleeping on a moving shelf. So they're really hammering their bodies, and they need massage, physical therapy, chiropractic, acupuncture. So I got the idea of putting together a team of holistic health practitioners. So they also needed someone to give them a massage, fix a crick in their neck, help them with a knee or an elbow. Long story short, I put the word out and I credentialed almost 30 holistic health practitioners. We put together the Woodstock '94 Holistic Health Team, and, excuse me for a moment, all of us wore these t-shirts and we worked round the clock for over 2 months backstage, taking care of crew, staff, medical personnel, the folks who were doing security, the folks who were selling tickets, taking tickets at the gate, you name it, parking attendants, all the people who worked for the festival or at the festival could come and get care from the Woodstock '94 Holistic Health Team. We had a ball, but we also worked really, really hard. During the actual event, there were artists who took advantage of us as well. And I think you might see some photos of people who were backstage and approached us for care. I would do it all over again if I had such an excellent team as I did that day, as I did that week, as I did those months. I had one really interesting thing that not everybody knows, but if you were there and if you see photos, you'll know that I had a very wonderful companion, a German Shepherd mix named Mutiny. She looked like a white German Shepherd, and Mutiny got her own credentials that said she was allowed backstage and she was allowed access to anywhere that I was allowed to go, and I had all access. Mutiny was taught, because I was there before the event, I had a little free time, and being a German Shepherd dog, she's pretty smart. I taught her to go from my holistic health team trailer to the production trailer and back. She also learned her way from the holistic health team trailer to the catering tent and back, to the management office and back. So I could send notes, because there were times that the walkie-talkie system was just really impractical, too much chatter. Bear in mind that we didn't have smartphones and cell phones and things like that. So at most of these events, we're driving around golf carts and we're using walkie-talkies. Come back to me, hi, this is LJ, LJ1, LJ2, come in, so-and-so, over. Well, when there's something big like this happening, the walkies don't always work. Too much chatter, too much static. So I taught Mutiny to go with messages, and I would attach them to her collar, and she had all access passes, so she could go from the holistic health team trailer to the production trailer, or to the management office, or to the catering tent, and give messages. Okay, we're ready, 1:30, there's an opening for a chiropractic adjustment if you need one. Okay, I'm hungry, anybody else want to send out for lunch? Things like that. And Mutiny would go back and forth and back and forth. Well, one day there was hysteria coming over all the walkie-talkies. LJ, you better get here quickly. Someone has tackled your dog. What? Somebody literally had the audacity to try and tackle a German Shepherd to get her credentials from her. Luckily, security was on it like this. That punter was invited to leave the property, and the world was right. Mutiny was a very funny dog. She was a white German Shepherd mix. Well, once the mud started, she was like a black and white cookie. Everything underneath was black, and only her back left was white. It was really something, and she would spend hours every night back in the trailer that I was living in for that period of time, just cleaning herself until she'd be white again in the morning, but by the next afternoon, she'd be a black and white cookie again. I think one of the most important things for me through all of this was to remember that whether someone is a famous rock star or whether they're the janitor, they're still human beings and they need care. And luckily for me, enough professionals came forward to offer their services to care for all the people who made this great event happen. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this project.